What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope you're all doing well. Let's start with some baseball. Anthony Volpe has made the Yankees roster. Their top prospect, 21-year-old shortstop, had a great spring. He's right on the cusp. Was in Double-A most of last year, but at the end, advanced to Triple-A. Played about 20 games at Triple-A. Yeah, and he had a great spring, and he's on the opening day roster. They didn't go into the details like what his role will be. My guess will be he'll be the everyday shortstop, and Knef left another. They've been playing him in the outfield in spring a little bit. They'll probably make him a utility player on the bench, probably. But Anthony Volpe is on the Yankees roster. And another top prospect who made their club's opening day roster, Jordan Walker, who has never even played in Triple Ice, won't turn 21 until the end of May. He was a third baseman. He made the St. Louis Cardinals opening day roster. Interesting where they will put him. But Jordan Walker, who is the number 6 prospect in all baseball, he is on the Cards roster. The New York Mets signed Dylan Bundy to a minor league deal. Gives him some rotation depth. Of course, the rotation is very old. I got some injury concerns. Obviously, Jose Quintana he had this offseason for some. He was probably going to be your fifth starter. He's out until at least July. Why? So Dave Pearson, he by the way, he won their fifth star job. So Dylan Bundy will act as depth. Oakland picked up Dries Moya on 1 year deal. It's his second stint with the club in 2000. I believe maybe it was 27. It was 2017, I believe. They acquired him from the Mets in a trade deadline deal. He went back to back the very next season for agency. So it's his second stint with Oakland. He's kind of washed. He didn't really have sex last year between Philly and Arizona. That's a death move for Oakland. Aaron Nola and the Phillies could not agree on a long-term extension, so they're going to shelve talks for now, but do plan to resume them after the season. Yankees lose another pitcher, Luis Severino, to the IL for lat strain. He just cannot stay happy. Luis Severino. The Yankees have a lot of injuries already. They are down. Carlos Rodon will start on the IL as will Luis Severino. And then Nestor Cortez. Harrison Bader, their starting center fielder, is on the IL. Lou Trevino is one of their relievers. He's on the IL to start the year. Yankees have a lot of injuries heading into the season. But former top prospect Keston Hiura of the Brewers, they're trying to trade him his rookie year. 2019, he had an incredible year. Hit over 300, like 20 home runs. And since then, has not been able to recapture that. He's not a good defender. He came up at second base, tried moving him to first, hasn't worked. He's spent a lot of time in the minor leagues, and it's just a lost cause at this point. And he's got a very long swing. I think got pitchers figured him out. Brewers are trying to trade him. He definitely needs a fresh start. Opening day is in just a few days. Spring training is over for the Mets. I believe for most teams, it's either over or we're wrapping up for the next day or two. And I believe Thursday is opening day. Cannot wait. I will go over the opening day pitching matchups tomorrow. On to hockey, your scores from last night. Avalanche over the Coyotes, 4-3 in a shootout. Bruins over the Hurricanes in the battle of the top two teams in the East. I believe in the National Hockey League as well. Bruins win 4-3 in a shootout. Canucks beat the Blackhawks 4-2. Maple Leafs over the Predators 3-2, and the Kings over the Blues 7-6. As for the standings, you got obviously Boston. They got everything locked up. They clinched their division already, so they should win the East no problem. They're 16 points clear of Carolina. They got 9 games left, and then Carolina has got 10 games left. So I believe the magic number is about 4 points for Boston. So within the next week, Boston should clinch will clinch definitely the first seed in the East and probably the President's Trophy. At least shortly after that. Carolina, who's already clinched a playoff spot, they're 103. The New Jersey Devils are at 100 points. They've already clinched a playoff spot. Got Toronto at 97 and 4th. Rangers are in 5th at 96. Tampa's got 90. They're in 6th. New York Islanders were in 7th with 83. Pittsburgh is in 8th. They climbed back into the 8th spot. They are at 82 points. Florida's 3 points back. Buffalo is 6 points back. Washington is 6 points back. They're struggling. Ottawa is 7 points back. And that's about it. Detroit's 11 points. They've fallen out of it. And then Philly, Montreal, and Columbus round out the East. In the West, you got Vegas leads the West. West is very tight. They're 2 points ahead of the LA Kings, who have a 10-game point streak going, 8 of those wins. They're in second with 96 points. Minnesota's in third with 93. Colorado and Dallas both have 92, but Colorado's got a game in hand. Edmonton's in sixth with 91. Seattle is in seventh with 88. Winnipeg's in eighth with 85. Calgary is 4 points out. Nashville is 5 points out. That's great. The top 8 teams in the West were within 13 points. The top 6 were within 7. So very, very tight in the Western Conference in the NHL. Take a look at the playoff picture in the NHL. The season ends today. Let's start in the East. It's going to be looks like right now it'll be Devils Rangers in the first round. Metro's really tight. Got Carolina at 103, Devils at 100, and New York Rangers at 96. So Metro is very tight. Hope my Rangers can possibly sneak past New Jersey. I mean, obviously, I would love to win the Metro. But they're 7 points out with 9 games left. That's going to be a little bit tough. And Carolina's got a game in hand on both the Rangers and the Devils. So I'm hoping we can at least possibly slip past New Jersey and get home ice advantage. It's not a huge thing, but I would like, having home ice advantage at the Garden is huge. You also be Toronto versus Tampa. Looks like we're definitely going to have that one. So our rematch of last year's first round matchup, of course, Tampa won in 7 games. Will this be the year Toronto finally wins the playoff series? I doubt it. I don't trust Toronto, but we shall see. And I believe it would be Carolina facing the Islanders, and then Boston would face. I think Boston would then face Pittsburgh in the first round. Going on to the Western Conference, we're gonna have it's gonna be Colorado against Dallas. Season end today. East, New Jersey against Rangers is pretty likely. New Jersey's only 3 points out behind Carolina though, so that could change. And Toronto and Tampa is pretty much guaranteed. West, everyone's so tight. This could easily change. So I'm probably gonna go over this every single day because this could change from day to day, almost every day until the end of the season. But Colorado and Dallas are season end today would play in the first round, as would the Kings against Edmonton. LA Kings against Edmonton Oilers would play in the first round season ended today, and then Vegas would, I think Minnesota would play would probably play Seattle, and then Vegas would play Winnipeg. But those might be swallowed. I'll clarify that tomorrow. That's what we got for playoff matchups in the NHL. In the NBA, you got the Hornets over the Mavericks in an upset 110-104. PJ Washington, 41 points, 12 boards. Luka, 40, 12, and 8. He got his 16th technical of the season, so once it's rescinded, he will be suspended for the next game. Every single time he gets a technical foul for the rest of the year, it will be an automatic one-game suspension. And we said it in the press conference, like he's not having fun anymore. Dallas is really short. They've fallen 3 games under 500, and they are not even sure if they're going to make the playoffs at this point. They should, but it's not guaranteed. Bulls over the Lakers, 118-108 in the return of LeBron James. He is missing a month with the foot injury. Zach LaVine has 32 points. Bulls trying to hang on to a play-in spot. Grizzlies over the Hawks, 123-119. Ja, 27 points and 6 assists. Celtics blew out the Spurs, 137-93. Jaylen Brown, 41 points, 13 rebounds. Cavs over the Rockets, 108-91. Jared Allen, 24 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks. Cavs clinch a playoff spot. Magic over the Nets, 119-106. Franz Wagner, 19 points, 10 boards, 6 assists. And Raptors over the Wizards, 114-104. Fred VanVleet, 28 points, 7 assists. Thunder over the Trailblazers, 118-112. Shy of 31 points. By the way, Portland is strongly considering shutting down Dame Lillard for the final 8 or 9 games of the season. And Minnesota beats Golden State 99-96. Golden State blew a lead in that one. Kyle Anderson had 12 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists in that one. Onto the standings for NBA. Milwaukee remains a game and a half ahead of Boston for first in the East. They have clinched the playoff spot. Boston's also clinched. Top 4 East have clinched. Got Philly. It's in third. Got Cleveland in fourth. Cleveland's playing really well. They're actually only 2 games out of third now. They clinched a spot. They got my New York Knicks are in fifth. Brooklyn Nets are in sixth. They're actually tied with Miami for sixth for the last playoff spot and the first play-in spot. But Brooklyn just beat Miami, so Brooklyn's ahead of them. Atlanta's in 8th. They're actually Atlanta and Toronto are tied for 8th and 9th, and the Bulls are 10th. They're a half game out of 8th. Indiana is 2.5 games out, as is Washington. And Orlando is not too far out. They are 4.5. They are 4.5. No, 3.5 games out of a playing spot. Showing Detroit are out. In the West, you got Denver has already clinched their division, so they're in the playoffs. Memphis is 3 games behind them. Memphis has gotten hot because they just got Ja back. He's working his way back. Memphis won 9 of 10 in each of the last 6. They clinched their division, so they're in the playoffs. Sacramento Kings are in 3rd. Phoenix is in 4th. Clippers are in 5th, a half game out of 4th. Golden State's in 6th. They're actually only a game out of 4th. Half a game behind them is Minnesota, who's the first playing team. New Orleans is a half game behind Minnesota. They're in the 8th spot. Half game behind them is the Lakers, who are in 9th, who are tied. The 9th and 10th spots are Lakers, and they're tied. The Dallas Mavericks, if the season ends today, would not even be in the plans. They are a game behind the Lakers and OKC for the last 2 playing spots. They are a game out of the plans. That is crazy. With 7 games left, they're a game out. This team has Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic on it, and they might not even make the plans. That is crazy. Utah is a game and a half out of the plans. Portland is falling 4.5 games out. They're falling apart. And now games out for the year. And the Spurs and the Rockets are eliminated. Looking at the playoff picture, season end today in the East, we would see Philly hosting Brooklyn. Cleveland would host the Knicks. The play-ins will be Miami versus Atlanta. The winner of that would play Boston in the first round. And then the Toronto versus Chicago. The loser of that is out. The winner of that plays the loser of Miami and Atlanta. And the winner of that game would play Milwaukee in the first round. The Western Conference season end today will be Sacramento hosting the Golden State Warriors. And it would be the Phoenix Suns hosting Los Angeles Clippers. That would be a good series. And the plan would be Minnesota against New Orleans. Winner of that plays Memphis in the first round. And then the 9-10 game be Lakers versus OKC. Loser of that is out. And the winner of that plays the loser of Minnesota in New Orleans. And the winner of that plays Denver in the first round. So that's where we stand right now for the NBA. We got some big news in the NFL. Lamar Jackson on March 2nd requested a trade. He sent this out in a tweet. And they said that they're not honoring his value and stuff. So that's some crazy news. So it looks like it's definitely over in Baltimore. Here's my thing. I think Lamar Jackson's a great quarterback. I think he's a great player. When he's healthy, I do believe he's probably a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. But he can't stay healthy. He's a lot of injury concerns the last 2 years. Runners don't usually last, and he's only like 25 or 26. He's already breaking down. That's gotta be a red flag. He wants 200 plus. I know he may not want a fully guaranteed deal, but he probably wants at least $200 million. You gotta have 2 first round picks to get him from the Ravens. If you were to sign him, he's not as good of a thrower as a lot of these other quarterbacks in the league. He's not like I know people say he can't throw. I didn't get to stretch, but he doesn't have the greatest arm, which is definitely a knock. He's not been good in the playoffs. Just 1 playoff win in 5 years. 1-3. Has not played well in the playoffs. Way too many red flags. He's not a bad player. He's former MVP for a reason. He's a very good quarterback. He's better than a lot of the quarterbacks in the league, but there's 20 red flags to give that guy $200 million and give up 2 first round picks for him. He's really annoying, Lamar, honestly. He's annoying the crap out of me. Dude, you want too much money. Do yourself a favor. Sign your little tag, bowl out next year, and then we'll talk. And for 2 injury-plagued years, 1 playoff win in 5 years, and you think you should be paid more than Patrick Mahomes? Get the freak out of here, dude. Come on. That's ridiculous. Bobby Wagner goes back to Seattle where it all started. 1 year, $7 million. Rams cut him. He's still a solid middle linebacker. Nice pickup for Seattle to reunite with him. 49ers trade for Zane Gonzalez. They exchanged 2025 7th rounders with Carolina. Carolina had already signed Eddie Pinheiro to be their kicker to a 2-year deal. So there was no need for Zane Gonzalez. Niners cut Robbie Golder early in the year, so they make the move to get Zane Gonzalez that gets them a kicker. Carolina brings in DJ Shark on a 1-year deal. Nice pickup. He's a solid second or third receiver. Carolina had a nice loyalties, and you pick up him. You pick up Adam Thielen, Hayden Hurst, Miles Sanders. So it's not a true number 1, but at least they're whoever they draft first overall will have some weapons to work with. And you have Nelson Aguilar to Baltimore, 1 year, $6.2 million. That's the help Lamar's getting, I guess. He's not that good, but he's got very bad hand. He's not a bad, okay third receiver, but he's got a lot of drop, he drops a lot of balls. It's one issue. Before we wrap up, we gotta talk about some March Madness. So let's do the lead up. So let's do the lead up to obviously the Final Four is about to start. That starts, I believe, this weekend. But let's start with the Sweet 16. You had the number 3 Gonzaga beats number 2 CUI 79-76. Incredible game. You had Gonzaga was up big in that. Gonzaga was up big in that one. No, UCLA was up 13 at the half. Then Gonzaga took a big lead. Then they were up at like 9 or 10 after like a little over a minute left. Then UCLA came storming back, took a 1-point lead, but then Gonzaga with a deep 3 with about 7 seconds left. Crazy game. Gonzaga UCLA are always classics. What a game. Drew Timme, 36 points, 13 rebounds. He is a beast. Love that man. That guy Jaquez on UCLA, I feel like he's been there for 19 years and 29 points and 11 rebounds. I mean, that's not the comparison to Drew Timme. I feel like he's been there for 40 years, but it is his last year. He's the 5th year. Number 4, UConn blew past number 8 Arkansas, 88-65. They move on. Number 3, Kansas State squeaks past number 7, Michigan State, 98-93 in overtime. Marquise Noel, 20 points, 19 assists in a college basketball game, and 5 steals. That kid's incredible. I also like that kid, Taekwon Walker from Michigan State, is also really good. Number 9, Florida Atlantic versus number 4. Beast number 4, Tennessee, 62-55 in an upset. Big upset there. Those were the games that was Thursday. On Friday, Sweet 16 continued. Yeah, number 5, San Diego State knocked off the best team in the country, number 1, Alabama, 71-64. Number 5, Miami knocks out the last 1 seed left, number 1, Houston, 89-75. Houston's supposed to be this defensive powerhouse. They give up 89 points in a college game. They're literally the defensive version of Gonzaga. Gonzaga's this team. They're always one of the top teams. You know, they're one of the best teams in the country. You know, they score 90 points a game in freaking college. And every year they lose in the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. And Houston every year is like, oh my God, this team is so good. The time they give up, 50 points a game, if that. You know, you can't score them. They're gonna have a big year. They're one of the top teams, and then they lose in the Sweet 16. Both of them, because they're in weaker conferences, aren't used to this top competition. Number 2, Texas beats number 3, Xavier, 83-71. And then number 5, Cray beats number 15, Princeton, 86-75. The Princeton's run ended in the Sweet 16, but kudos to them. All those nerds having their run. So now they can focus on getting the position at whatever law firm they have set up. All those rich kids. In the Elite 8, started Saturday. Number 4, UConn thrashes number 3, Gonzaga, 82-54. Absolutely thrashed them. 28-point game. UConn, they're a really good team, and they've gotten hot at the right time. I don't know if anyone beats them. Number 9, Florida Atlantic, up to number 3, Kansas State, 79-76. They win it on a game-winning free throw. Marquise Noel, though, 30 points, 12 assists, 5 steals. That dude's incredible. Great passer, incredible court vision. He can score. He's got good hands defensively. Very smart. Someone's got to give him a chance in the NBA. Someone give him a chance. I think he's a first-round pick, honestly. Give him a chance. Somebody. Come on. Guy can't have the skills he has not. At least get a shot. At least undrafted. Someone's undrafted free agent. If not, draft him a little bit later in the draft. Come on. Give the dude a shot. Also in the Elite 8, yesterday, number 5, Miami beats number 2, Texas in an upset, 88-81. Number 5, San Diego State beats number 6, Creighton, 57-56. They win that game at the line. So the Final Four is set. It will be on, I believe, April 1st is when the Final Four will be. Yes, on Saturday, April 1st. I promise that's not an April Fool's joke. Final Four will be number 5, San Diego State, against number 9, Florida Atlantic. If anybody had that in their bracket, I'm impressed. also playing in the Final Four. That game will be at 6:09 on CBS. At 8:49 on CBS, it will be number 4 UConn against number 5 Miami. There is no 1 seed, not a single 1 seed made it to the Elite 8 for the first time ever. There is no 2 seeds in the Final Four. There is no 3 seeds in the Final Four. The highest seed is a 4 seed. It is a 4 seed, 2 5s, and a 9. What a tournament this has been. Reminds me of when UConn beat Kentucky in national championship. I think it was like 2014. That was the Kemba year, I think. Might have been the Kemba year. I forget. It was, I think UConn was ranked 8th, and Kentucky was ranked 7th. Last year, you had all the blue bloods. You had Kansas, Duke, UNC. All the blue bloods last year. It was kind of boring. This year, you have UConn, who's very good, but no one expected them to go this far. Miami, who no one thought would go this far. San Diego State, who's never been this far before, and Florida Atlantic, who a lot of people haven't even heard of. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, UConn is rolling around. They're just rolling over people. Iona, who's not that good, but they're also coached by Rick Pitino. They smashed Iona, a Rick Pitino coach team. In the Sweet 16, they beat a very good Arkansas. They smashed a very good Arkansas team, who we could argue was underseeded as an 8, coached by Eric Musselman. In the Sweet 16 by 23, they absolutely demolished a red hot and very good Gonzaga team in the Elite 8. By almost 30. You got Miami, who's playing really well. They scored 89 points on maybe the best defensive team in the country in Houston. You got number 5 San Diego State, who just beat the number 1 team in the country in the Sweet 16. And they beat Creighton. And Florida Atlantic is just on a roll. They were criminally underseeded, 35-3. They probably could have been like a 6 seed. They were 9. Obviously, they get past Memphis, and there's upset in everyone at this point. They're just obviously in the second round. They get past FDU. They get past Cinderella and FDU. Then you beat Kansas State, who's a great team. You beat them. Just this team is incredible. What they've done. But I know we lost, but kudos to Terrell Terry, the interim coach for Texas. Texas is open the full-time job. I assume you would take it. Kudos to him. Tough situation for Tech. He had Chris Beers, a very good coach. Obviously, you brought him over from Texas Tech about 2 years ago. Yeah, he had the allegations, and they ended up firing him. Got thrown in there to a team that was one of the best teams in the country, and he, took them all the way to the Elite 8. So kudos to him. Kudos to Ronald Terry. By the way, also on Saturday, WrestleMania. I will cover that some point this week. I don't know when, but I will cover that this week. I will get more information on that in the next day or two. That's all I got for you guys today. Until next time, so long, and have a great day.